Hello guys, welcome back to another video on the channel Basketball Bob. My name is Trent, and as promised in the last video, we will be ranking the best player from every NBA team in 2020. So let's get right into the video. Go through these kind of fast, the first 5 at least, just because it starts off kind of slow. So 30 goes to Terry Rozier and the Charlotte Hornets. Number 29 goes to New York's and RJ Barrett. Number 28 goes to the Orlando Magic and Nikola Vucevic. Number 27 goes to the Memphis Grizzlies and Ja Morant. Number 26, I want to pause on this one real quick. It goes to Steph Curry. Now, the reason he ranks at number 26 is because he has only played 5 games, but he's averaging 20 points a game, and he's just so good that he still is the best player on the Golden State Warriors in 2020. And number 25 goes to the Brooklyn Nets and DeAndre Jordan. Okay, so number 24 goes to the Cleveland Cavaliers and Andre Drummond. A few months ago, it would have been Kevin Love, but now with Andre Drummond being traded to Cleveland, he takes a spot at number 24. And number 23 goes to the Detroit Pistons with Blake Griffin. The only other competition for this spot was Derrick Rose, but Derrick Rose is basically past his prime, and he's never fully come back from his injury, so for now it's Blake Griffin. Number 22 goes to the San Antonio Spurs with DeMar DeRozan. Now, he's been good this year, averaging 20 points a game, but nothing that really is remarkable, so he takes number 22. Number 21 goes to the New Orleans Pelicans with Brandon Ingram. Now, you could make an argument that it's Zion Williamson or even Drew Holiday, but Brandon Ingram's been better. He's averaging 24 points per game, and Zion hasn't played that much this year. And Brandon Ingram did make the All-Star game as well. Number 20 goes to the Sacramento Kings and De'Aaron Fox. It could have been Buddy Hield, but right now it's De'Aaron Fox. He's just a better player here, and although none of them made the All-Star game, De'Aaron Fox is still better. And number 19 goes to the Washington Wizards with Bradley Beal. Now, Bradley Beal's averaging 29 points per game, and basically leading the Wizards, and they might even make the playoffs. And also, it could have been John Wall, but he's been battling injuries all year. And also, John Wall's been around for a while, and maybe we might be seeing him getting a little past his prime. And Bradley Beal's going to win MVP probably in the next 5 years. He's emerging as a superstar, really. And number 18 goes to the Utah Jazz with Donovan Mitchell. It could have been Rudy Gobert, but Rudy's only averaging 15 points per game, and Donovan Mitchell, a much better teammate to have on your team, being one of the nicest players in the NBA. And also, he's just the better player here, and so he takes the spot. Number 17 goes to the Oklahoma City Thunder with Chris Paul. Now, Chris Paul hasn't been great this year, but he still makes a spot on this list because he doesn't have a lot of other competition. I kind of think Chris Paul's past his prime. I mean, he's not as good as he was. We saw it. Probably his prime was on the Clippers, and he's in his 30s now, and he's reaching the end of his career. In 5 years, I have no doubt that the spot will go to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, unless he gets traded to another team. But I believe that he's really gonna emerge as a superstar, and in 5 years, he'll be one of the better players in the NBA. And number 16 goes to the Indiana Pacers with Victor Oladipo. Finally, they have him back from injury. Although he's only averaging 13 points per game, he's only also played 13 games. But he's still the best player on the Pacers, makes a lot of impact, and he's helping leading them into the playoffs, and maybe they'll even take the 4 seed from the Heat if we ever see the NBA resume. And now we got the number 15 spot goes to the Chicago Bulls with Zach LaVine. The only argument you could make here is that it could have been Lauri Markkanen, but Zach LaVine's averaging 25 points per game, and he's also an insane dunker, so Zach LaVine takes the spot No questions asked. Number 14 goes to the Phoenix Suns. Finally, the Phoenix Suns rank somewhat high on an actual list. And their player is Devin Booker. He's probably the most underrated player in the entire NBA. And he's insanely good. You know, I thought he should have made the All-Star game, but he did make the three-point contest, but that was only because Damian Lillard got injured and he was his replacement. But I do think that Devin Booker deserves more, and he's really underrated as well. Number 13 goes to the Denver Nuggets and Nikola Jokic. Now, in 5 years, it'll be Jamal Murray, but not yet, and we really haven't seen prime Jamal Murray. I mean, he's been good, but not great. And Nikola Jokic is the best passing center in the entire NBA. Well, he can still score and play the post. Number 12 goes to the Minnesota Timberwolves with Karl Anthony Towns. Now, he's averaging 25 points per game as a center and grabbing a lot of rebounds and still notching up some assists. He would rank higher, but he doesn't really have a lot of help, and he plays on a bad team. And the only other competition for the spot would be Andrew Wiggins, but we haven't really seen a great Andrew Wiggins that's lived up to expectations yet. Number 11 goes to the Miami Heat with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler has kind of quietly led this team to the 4 seed in the East, and they'll have home court advantage for the first round of the playoffs. Now, this is really good. I mean, we've seen Jimmy Butler really break out this year, and also he really had no other competition for the spot. Moving on to the top 10. Number 10, Boston Celtics. Now, this one is the biggest surprise of the entire video. It's Jason Tatum. Now, a lot of people would say it's Kemba Walker, but did Kemba Walker win February Player of the Month? I didn't think so. And also, if you ask how Jason Tatum ranks this high on the list, well, another question is, did any of these other players in this entire list win February Player of the Month? Also, I didn't think so. And he's also averaged 30 points per game while doing so. And he's also developed a really sweet sidestep 3, which is similar to that of James Harden. So he comes in the top 10. Number 9, Atlanta Hawks, Trae Young. Now, the only other competition would be John Collins, but if John Collins were the best player on the Hawks, then they definitely wouldn't be in the top 10. Some people say it's John Collins, but it's not. Trae Young is an all-star starter. Did John Collins make the all-star game? No. It's Trae Young for now, and he's averaging almost 30 points a game. Number 8, Dallas Mavericks. It's Luka Doncic. It's really, Kristaps could have took this position, but he's just, I kind of think that Kristaps is kind of overrated. He was considered a superstar on the Knicks, but he only averaged like 17 points a game there. But it's just that there were no other good players on the Knicks. But Luka Doncic takes the spot for the Mavs. And number 7 goes to the Toronto Raptors, and it's between Pascal Siakam and Kyle Lowry. The difference here, Pascal was a starter in the All-Star game, and Kyle Lowry was a reserve. And Pascal also is averaging 24 points per game, and he can play defense. A lot of these guys are just on the list for their scoring, but Pascal is on the list for both. He's one of the most all-around players in the entire league. Number 6, Philadelphia 76ers. Joel Embiid. It could have been Ben Simmons, but it's not. Ben Simmons should not be playing point guard. At 6'10", until Ben Simmons develops a jump shot or even takes a 3 in any kind of game, he's not going to be the best player on the 76ers. Right now, it's Joel Embiid, and it will be for probably 10 years if he stays in Philadelphia. Joel Embiid is still young, so. And now, number 5 goes to the Portland Trailblazers and Damian Lillard. Now, CJ McCollum would be the best player on the Trailblazers, but obviously Damian Lillard stands in the way of that. And Damian Lillard, even though he's considered a superstar, he's more than that. He's still underrated, I feel like. And he's just better than we all think, and he's also a great teammate and a really nice guy in general. So he's a great guy to have on your team. Number 4, Houston Rockets. It's James Harden. It could have been Russell Westbrook, though, but I think it's kind of obvious it's still James Harden, and Russell Westbrook hasn't played as well as he did on the Thunder, so for now it's James Harden. Number 3, Los Angeles Lakers. It's between Anthony Davis and LeBron James, but until LeBron either retires or leaves Los Angeles, it's going to be King James. I mean, maybe I can see LeBron leaving Los Angeles and returning to Cleveland for one more season to try for a playoff run. Who knows, in his last year, and then maybe retire. But for now, it's LeBron James on the Lakers, and he's their best player. Number 2, Los Angeles Clippers. Could have been Paul George, but it's Kawhi Leonard. If it was Paul George, the Clippers would not rank number 2 on this list, I'll tell you that. No disrespect to Paul George, but Kawhi Leonard is much better. And he also won Finals MVP. It's Kawhi Leonard. And number 1, Milwaukee Bucks. Brook Lopez, one of the most underrated players in the NBA. I'm kidding. We all know who it is. It's Giannis. I mean, no questions asked. It's not Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is terrible. And he's actually their 4th best player because Chris Middleton and Eric Bledsoe rank ahead of him. So the best player in the NBA is Giannis Antetokounmpo. Okay, that is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I was actually able to get this done a little sooner than anticipated because I actually was planning on releasing this Tuesday or Wednesday, and I said it would be released in the last video the next week, but I ended up getting it done a little early, so I'm releasing it today. And so make sure to like and subscribe on the video, and happy Easter.